Week 9 in the NFL, big matchups on the field, of course, even bigger ones for your fantasy team as you drive towards the playoff. And with us this morning, the guys from fantasyfootballstarters.com, of course, Jeff Gracchini and Russ Bliss with everything you need to know for this week's slate of games. Thanks for being here, guys.
Absolutely.
How are we this morning?
We're doing good. It's
good?
Week 9, lots of injuries to talk about.
The injury list gets longer and longer as we move forward.
And I try and keep it shorter and shorter every week, but it can go into like 40 players. Well, we're going to start off this week talking about quarterbacks. And the first one is Matt Hasselbeck for the Seattle Seahawks. And Matt Hasselbeck has a concussion. He's been ruled out for this game. So Charlie Whitehurst gets his first start for the Seattle Seahawks. You also have Michael Vick. He returns for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kevin Cobb goes back to the bench. Michael Vick will start today for Philadelphia. Then you've got running backs. And the first one, Joseph Adai, the Indianapolis Colts. He did not travel with the team. He won't play today. Donald Brown will get the start for Indianapolis. Pierre Thomas is out with his ankle injury, and D'Angelo Williams doubtful with a foot injury. He won't play either. And then finally a couple of wide receivers, and that's Andre Johnson for the Houston Texans. He's got the ankle injury. He'll be just fine to play this week, but Donald Driver, quadriceps injury, first time in a long time. Donald Driver not even going to play. He's out for this week.
All right, good to know. So those are the no starts for you guys. In addition to the injuries, we of course have some big bye weeks. I know my husband said the bye weeks this week are not good for my team. Let's remind folks who's not playing today.
You got it, Denver Broncos. So if you have Brandon Lloyd or if you have Kyle Orton, can't play those guys. Jacksonville Jaguars, got to sit Maurice Jones-Drew, got to sit Mike Sims-Walker. The 49ers can't start Frank Gore, can't start Michael Crabtree. Same thing goes with the Los Angeles Rams. Can't play Steven Jackson. Oh my gosh, that's right. St. Louis.
What did you say?
I said LA. St. Louis Rams, Steven Jackson. It's early.
Turning back time.
We were talking about it earlier.
That's right. And the Titans, Chris Johnson, can't start him, as well as Vince Young. And then we have the Washington Redskins. And I don't know too many people are worried about that. But we also got some sleepers to talk about. And that's real important, especially with the wide receiver position.
And we were talking about, should we talk about
James Jones? James Jones? Absolutely. He is, you know, what's going on right now with Green Bay, they've got some injuries to the wide receiver position. So James Jones, great young up-and-coming player. He's a fourth-year player out of San Jose State, Russ. Has probably done, what, between 19 and 22 receptions, maybe only 300 yards. But because of the injuries like we talked about to Donald Driver, same thing goes with Jermichael Finley. He's a good play. And then they also have Jordy Nelson, who's another young wide receiver, actually a third-year guy, right out of Kansas State. And Jordy Nelson is, either one of these guys is probably a real good play because of the injuries to the wide receiver core for Green Bay.
Big news coming out of the NFL that I know we want to mention. Randy Moss, tossed out of Minnesota, lands in Tennessee. What does this mean? What does this all mean?
Well, it means good things for the rest of the Tennessee Titans. For the rest of the Tennessee Titans, you're going to see Chris Johnson not have to face so many 8 men in the box against him. It's a big play weapon for Vince Young, who just lost Kenny Britt at wide receiver. It's a good thing for Nate Washington, the other wide receiver. It's not so great for Randy Moss, though. Randy Moss is not performing. He's at the tail end of his career. We only got him projected for about 34 receptions for almost 400 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns the rest of the season as a Tennessee Titan. What it really hurts is it hurts the Minnesota Vikings this week and down the line, because Percy Harvin was doing really well with Randy Moss there. That takes away a big weapon from their offense.
Just when you think they finally have it going for the season, and then they change things up and trade them. So I know a lot of people disappointed with that. A lot of people were talking about this week when I was out and about. All right, let's talk about our Cardinals, of course, taking on the Vikings. Yeah, no kidding. And you look at this, we're actually predicting a 21-10 Viking victory, similar to what we predicted last year. The quarterback position right now, you know, they pulled Max Hall. He threw a couple of interceptions last week. They benched him. Right now it's Derek Anderson. The problem you have there is the Cardinals don't have a good passing game test. They're ranked 31st. Anderson, we don't know if he's the solution. You saw that he throws the ball. I mean, he had a touchdown last week, but the same thing, he's throwing interceptions. So Ken Wisenhunt is on the hot seat right now from a quarterback perspective, because that's a position that they expected the Cardinals to be able to fill with a coach like that. So what we're seeing, look for
Also look for the Cardinals running game. Again, like we talked about last week, Tess, in order for them to have any success, right, Russ? They've got to get that running game going or they're going to be in trouble again.
And luckily, like I said, with Randy Moss, the Minnesota Vikings are in disarray. Not everybody was on board with that move of moving Randy Moss and releasing him from the team. Right. Brad Childress took a lot of heat for this with the owners because he didn't consult with the ownership group before he actually made the decision to waive him. So if Brad Childress doesn't get the win this week, don't be surprised if Brad Childress gets fired. This move is either going to galvanize the team, bring them together, or it's going to split them apart. And personally, I think it's going to split them apart. I like the Cardinals today.
I was going to say, and it could only benefit the Cardinals, so that trade could really affect and really work for the Cardinals this week. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, as always, you guys do a trivia question with a giveaway.
Yes, this week, again, we're going to give away our championship plan, which gives you access to all of our tools at fantasyfootballstarters.com. And the question this week is, name the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff member whose son plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you watched last week, they mentioned his name a couple of times. So the first person to email Jeff at fantasyfootballstarters.com with the correct answer will win full access with our championship plan and be able to use our tools the rest of the season.
And if you're not a member yet, this is a good way to get it because you'll hopefully wrap up the football season, exactly, making it into the playoffs. All right, thank you very much, guys. We appreciate it. If you're not familiar with fantasyfootballstarters.com, we have a link on azfamily.com. They live and breathe football, not just during the season, but all year long, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bless your wives. Bless your wives.
We do all the time.
We'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you.